OverQuota is your sales meeting co-pilot. So when you launch your Zoom with OverQuota, you'll see that we send in a meeting bot. Go ahead and admit that to the meeting. Once the co-pilot comes into the meeting, it's going to kick off a compliance workflow. Go ahead and allow recording.
Recording in progress.
With that permission, you're now going to see OverQuota functionality come to life. If you create a meeting plan for this call, you should see that on the right-hand side if you're using the OverQuota Zoom app. At the top, you'll see the call time, so you can manage the clock. On the right, you'll see your talk time. The threshold is set at 55%, so once you're talking more than that, it turns yellow and then red. But if there was somebody else on this call and they were also talking, this would calculate in the other direction and hopefully eventually turn green. On the meeting plan here, you see all the questions that I prepared for the call. For example, if I were to ask, what does success look like for this project? The system's going to hear that question asked and trigger it off in green so that as a rep, I know that I'm going through and doing qualification and thorough discovery. Over on the right, it's listening for those prompts. So we have a prompt set up for competitors. If the system hears that keyword, it's going to trigger that prompt with the talking points that I need to correctly address that question for the prospect. Again, prompts can be used for new features. They can be used to put the details on about your pricing or your trial process. Whatever it is that might come up in conversation where you want to make sure and have those very clear, succinct talking points, it's a great use case for prompts. All right, so the other thing to consider in the real-time experience here is that if you're not using the Zoom app, you can always use the web app. So I'm going to minimize the Zoom over here and go to the web application, which you see here. Now, if you use the second monitor, this can just be put up on your second monitor, so it's sort of out of the way, but you still have great visibility to it. Same functionality here. You see the call time, the talk time, and the list of questions. So if I were to say, how do you normally evaluate new solutions for the team? Again, the system's going to hear that question asked, triggering it off like so in green. It's also still listening for those prompts. Like if you were to ask me, who are your competitors? The system's going to trigger that prompt and give me the talking points. Okay? So you can either use the OverQuota Zoom app or the OverQuota web app. The Zoom application seen here in the Zoom experience is something that you would have to likely get approved from the Zoom marketplace by your admin, whereas the web application would require no approval. We're excited to see what having a co-pilot and real-time assist does for you and your sales success.